Hello guys, greetings. How you doing? I hope you are doing well. Welcome to Vinyl TV. If you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing. Today I want to talk to you about something that resonates in my mind about how noisy environment and how noisy home affect child's development, right? This resonated in my mind because I recently traveled to Nigeria, and the amount of noise that is in the environment is actually unprecedented. It was too much, so I thought to make this video and done a research about this, just to make this video, just to speak to Nigerian parents, the effect of noisy home and noisy environment on our child's educational development. So today, this is the topic we're going to talk about. Okay, so I thought to speak to you about noisy home lives make children slow at school. So I just want to tell you, noisy home makes child slow at school. So it's a new report by educational watchdog in England, Ofsted. It's an educational watchdog in United Kingdom. So they made this report. I thought it would be beneficial to speak to Nigerian parents or every parents out there the effect of noisy environment, noisy home on our children. So Ofsted actually report just saying that children are starting school unable to speak and listening properly because of chaotic and noisy home life. So this report talks about children who are starting school are unable to speak and listening properly because of chaotic and noisy home lives. So I thought to share this because I went to Nigeria, like I said earlier. Pretty much everywhere in Lagos is full of people either preaching or the noisy vehicle or mosques or churches who are singing, and the noise that is in the environment is unprecedented. So I thought to share this report, especially with the parents out there, about the effect of noisy home. According to this report, it was just saying that a lot of children are unprepared for learning, because of the noisy environment. Children are having poor listening and speaking skills. So our children are having poor listening and speaking skills as a result of noisy home. Poor conversation at home, because of continuous background noise. So our children are having continuous background noise, constant television watch, so they are watching television constantly. It affects their learning development. They are not able to make a reasonable sentence or conversation. So, and also the other point is noisy siblings and raised voice. So sometimes in our homes, you see a lot of siblings, quarreling and raising noise to each other. So it do affect our child development, especially those young ones. So I thought to share this report that Ofsted actually saying that evidence has shown that a lot of children are not able to speak or listen and really or make a sentence. So they're not prepared to go into primary school or nursery school because as a result of chaotic and noisy environment. Our children are watching a lot of television. So I thought to share this, especially with parents out there, especially parents from Nigeria, that the environment is so noisy. So I thought to share this with them so that for them to be aware of the effect of noisy environment and noisy home to our children. It makes them unprepared for to start school. They are not able to speak, or poor listening skills. So constant watching of television does have effect on our child development. So I thought to share this with you, and as a result of this, Ofsted actually, because they are educational watchdog, so they make sure that educational standard in United Kingdom is up to the standard. So it's their job. It's like within NHS we have like CQC, but within educational institution, it's Ofsted that check, go out and visit schools and making sure that they're up properly and to the standard. So their report is actually saying that the report was just saying that a lot of our young children are unprepared. Some of them are not potty trained, some of them are, actually don't know how to use cutleries. So as a result of constant watching of television, constant poor conversation at home, parents, obviously we need to find a work-life balance, but also not neglect our children. So we're also making sure that they're developing properly. Reading nice story, reading books to them will also help. So do not allow them to spend a lot of time on television. Obviously this report actually saying that this is actually what they found out, that our children 3 years to 4 or 5 years old are not prepared enough, starting primary school or nursery school. So and they can't hold a conversation. Children they are not really prepared. They can't unable to hold conversation. Their words is just one words. I want this, I want that. And if you want to ask them what food they want, they can't really say, okay, can I have this please, or something like that of that nature. They will just point at you or pointing at the food. So I thought to share this actually is I thought it's a good point to share with Nigerian parents, for us to just be mindful of the harms we are causing to our children, or in terms of the noisy background, in terms of the noisy environment, in terms of constantly watching of television or Nigerian movie. So or living very close to church, or living very close to mosque. These are the things we actually need to put into consideration, especially when you are starting a family or when you have a young family. Just be aware of this. In England, so the way the majority of the schools here are trying to solve this problem is by kind of the best school actually is should have a consistency in giving school children opportunity to talk, listen, and build their vocabulary. So this is actually the main areas, how they work, how they're trying to solve this problem in UK, is giving a child every opportunity to speak, and listening to what they're saying and build their vocabularies. So guys, I thought to share this with Nigerian parents today, that we actually need to please look after our child development and making sure that the environment where he or she is, and is noisy free and not too noisy, so that it will not really harm his or her development. So I'm just sharing this. Noisy home lives makes children slow at school. So children unable to speak and listening properly because of chaotic, noisy home. So this is our topic today. Parents out there, everyone out there, just help our young kids to be properly equipped to start school. Guys, if you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing. Thank you very much. So this is a report from Ofsted that I thought to share this with you guys. Thank you, and God bless you. Bye bye.